All right, today we are diving deep into one of the most dramatic and, let's be honest, intense prophecies in the entire Bible, the Seven Trumpets from the book of Revelation. It's this incredible vision of a world under judgment, kind of like a cosmic countdown that unfolds in these waves of escalating disaster. So let's jump right in. First, we're going to set the stage for this whole apocalyptic vision. Then we'll get into the first four plagues, which are all aimed at nature. After that, things take a turn with a terrifying announcement from the sky. From there, we'll look at the demonic locusts, then the supernatural cavalry, and finally, we'll see what happens when that last trumpet sounds. So what exactly are these seven trumpets? Where do they even fit into the super complex story of Revelation? Let's get our bearings first. Okay, so the key thing to get here is the structure. These trumpets aren't just random disasters happening out of nowhere. No, they're a direct result of the seventh seal being opened. The best way to picture it is kind of like one of those Russian nesting dolls of judgment. You open the seals, and inside you find the trumpets. And guess what? The trumpets themselves are going to unleash the final set of plagues. It's all connected. So the first wave of judgment kicks off with 4 trumpet blasts, but they don't hit humanity directly. Instead, their target is the natural world itself. You start to see a pattern here, right? It's all about 1/3. A third of the trees get torched, a third of the sea turns to blood and the sea life dies, a third of the fresh water is poisoned, even a third of the light from the sky goes dark. Each trumpet blast is this very precise, partial destruction of the planet's ecosystem. And, if this sounds a little familiar, it should. A lot of these plagues kind of echo what happened in Egypt back in the book of Exodus, but this time it's happening on a global scale. Okay, so after these 4 huge blows to the planet, the story takes this dramatic pause. A new voice comes into the picture, and it delivers a chilling message that completely changes the game. An eagle, or some translations say an angel, flies across the sky, just screaming out this triple woe. This makes it absolutely terrifyingly clear. As bad as things have been for the planet, the next 3 trumpets, which are called the 3 woes, are going to be aimed directly at humanity. And they are going to be so much worse. The 5th trumpet sounds, and that unleashes the first woe. And this is where the imagery gets incredibly weird and just straight up terrifying. A key is used to unlock a bottomless pit, the abyss. And from that smoke, a plague emerges. I mean, just look at this description. These are definitely not your garden variety locusts. The text paints this picture of a grotesque mashup of creatures. They're like war horses, but with human-like faces, teeth like lions, and tails that sting like scorpions. Yeah, their purpose is not to eat crops. It's something way more sinister. The real horror of this plague is psychological. Its goal isn't to kill people, but to inflict pure torment. For 5 straight months, people are hit with an agony so intense that they will actually wish they could die, but they won't be able to. Death itself will flee from them. And this nightmarish army, it has a king. His name is given in both Hebrew and Greek, Abaddon and Apollyon, and both names mean the same thing, destroyer. He is the literal angel of the abyss, and he's the one leading this whole campaign of torture. This imagery has sparked all sorts of interpretations over the centuries. Are these symbolic descriptions of something we'd recognize, like modern attack helicopters? Or are they something else entirely? I mean, a literal demonic horde released from its prison. The text kind of leaves that up to your imagination. So the 6th trumpet blows, and that marks the end of the first woe. But the second one is even more catastrophic. This time, 4 powerful angels who are bound at the Euphrates River are released to lead another demonic army. And their mission is terrifyingly simple. Unlike the locusts, which only tortured people, this massive supernatural army, the text says it numbers 200 million, is unleashed to kill a truly staggering number of people, a full third of all humanity. The description of this army is just as horrifying as the last one. We're talking about horses with lion heads, breathing out fire, smoke, and sulfur, and their tails are like snakes that can actually hurt people. It is just an image of pure, overwhelming destruction. But here's what's maybe the most shocking part of this whole vision. It's how people react. I mean, think about it. You've just lived through a plague of pure torture, and then an army comes and wipes out a third of the entire world's population. You'd think that would be a wake-up call, right? But the text says the exact opposite. The survivors who are left just dig in their heels and refuse to repent. All right, so after a little break in the story, we finally get to the seventh trumpet. This is the third and final woe, but it works very differently from the others. It's not another plague, it's an announcement. With the blast of that seventh trumpet, voices in heaven just declare that it's over. The war is won. The kingdoms of this world with all their rebellion and chaos are finished. And now God's kingdom is being established forever and ever. This is the ultimate peak of the trumpet judgments. So, in the end, the seventh trumpet acts as both a huge finale and a transition. It closes this whole chapter of judgment and basically opens the door to the final and most intense series of punishments in Revelation, the 7 bowls of God's wrath, which are about to be poured out on an unrepentant world. And all of this leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? How are we supposed to understand this incredible vision? Is it a literal play-by-play roadmap of the future? Or is it a powerful, symbolic story that's meant to warn every single generation about what happens when we reject God and to remind us of the ultimate triumph of his kingdom? Well, that's the question people have been wrestling with for almost 2,000 years.